Sure. What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Main Event Mixer here on the Main Event Wrestling Network. As you can see on your screen, it's Mr. OTM, 1/3 of the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, and to my right is 2/3 of the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, Ian Garavalia. Ian, what's up, dog?
What's up, dog? Just got off streaming, and hey, by the way, Twitch channel, we're back up. Might get a little
Plug
promotion,
it.
I don't know.
Plug your
just
shit.
Plug it. I'll just plug it away. XNASTX, or you could just go to @Ian Garvalia, and I just announce when I go live and watch me play video games and laugh with me. But anyway, I'm excited because we're talking AEW, and I am a tribalist, so this will be a good night.
You want to introduce your dad to the audience? They already know who he is.
Yeah, no, you have seen him at Junkies Pod, from the Junkies Pod. He likes to talk wrestling, doesn't like AEW because he's a WWE tribalist. We all know that. But it is my dad, podcast dad. What's up, buddy?
Man, what an entry! What? I don't even know how to respond to that. I don't not like AEW. I just don't like what they're doing half the time. But hey guys.
Hey, man. It's good to see you, podcast dad. Always a pleasure. How was your trip to New Orleans? We heard from your worst half that you were gone for the week.
Oh, damn.
I got some beads.
Do I want to ask what you had to do to get those?
Oh.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I did not know that was a thing.
Podcast dad, can you explain to your son?
Yeah, please explain.
Teach
me the birds and bees.
This is a family show.
Teach me the birds and the beads.
This is a family show. No, it was a good time. I love New Orleans. I was scouting out some spots. Maybe we'll be down there next year.
Yeah, that's right.
There's an event happening down there next year. So
What's that? What are you talking about?
WrestleMania. That's what.
It's one of those
that's what it
WWE
is.
shows.
That's what it is. Yes.
We're here for AEW though, guys, because we love wrestling. We're for the sickos over here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. And speaking of the network, guys, don't forget to give us a follow on all the socials at @mainevent_net. Podcast dad, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about Gorilla Press Apparel?
Yeah, Gorilla Press Apparel .bigcartel.com. Guys, if you are an independent wrestler, if you are a referee, if you are an announcer, anybody out there in the independent land, give these guys a shout. They will help make some fun merch for you guys. Gary J, how he's doing. These guys are fun. We met them before. We met them in Cleveland for SummerSlam a while back, and great guys. Amazing work they're doing. Go support a small business, help them out.
For sure. And just a little peek behind the curtain, there may be some NXT Night Shift merch coming to Gorilla Press Apparel. I'm just saying, they're great people over there. They work with us here at the Main Event Network. So, like the podcast dad said, GorillaPressApparel.BigCartel.com and use code MEM24. You will save 10% off your order. But Ian, we also got a sale going on at our website. Why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about that?
Yeah, if you want, main event gear, OTM gear, which obviously 2/3 of the podcast is here, but got some OTF and M shirt. Yeah, just main event merch in general. But yeah, we have a bunch of merch there. If you want to support us, all the funds go directly back into streams like this, and it helps us basically pay the bills. So it doesn't go straight into our pockets. It goes straight back into the stream, which is that's the most important part.
Yeah, that tapestry behind the podcast dad and behind me, both the Junkies and OTM, available on that website. So if you want to save some money, use promo code Revolution. You will save 10%. And podcast dad, what is that magic number since we are on the road to 100 subscribers?
Tell one person if you like what we're doing here, if you like having fun with us. We're just a couple of guys having a good time watching wrestling. That's all we like to do. That's all we want to talk about. Jump in the comments. I will civilly sometimes debate you. Depends on if you touch a nerve. I will go off, but hey,
sounds like every WWE fan.
In a respectful way, I'll go off. But if you like what we're doing here, just tell one person, whether you're at your local Jimmy John's, go tell the cashier.
I have some in my fridge, actually. I had Jimmy John's today. I just wanted to point that out.
What's the sandwich of choice?
What'd you have?
It was like the Italian nightclub or something, I think it's called.
Fuck yeah.
No onions, though. No onions. I don't like
You gotta
onions.
add the Jimmy peppers. You gotta get that.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I mean, Jersey Mike's is much better, but yes.
I agree. That was actually the first thing I looked up, and they did not have a Jersey Mike's, so...
Handshake emoji. We all agreed. Jersey Mike's.
Have I been on? Have I been with you guys since the happening?
The happening? Oh, no.
I've been on since
Oh, God.
happening.
Get it out of your system.
Did you guys watch that beatdown?
No, actually, I didn't, because I didn't give a shit going into that show at all.
Look at.
Yeah.
Hey,
Congrats,
I'm a champion.
podcast dad.
Good
See
job.
the flag right there? Look at that. Super Bowl champion back there, right under the mic. Yeah.
Ugh.
Shout out to the Green Bay Packers for trying to ban the tush push. Bunch of crybabies.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Just
You guys
stop
want to
it.
talk wrestling? I don't want to talk about the Packers right now for once.
Mine, just go Birds. That's all I'll say.
I'll give you that. And I'll say go Birds as well, but the St. Louis ones.
Ew, God.
Yeah, sorry.
They're going to suck. Just a heads up.
He knows that. That's the
Total
thing.
tangent, I know that. Yeah.
They're going to suck.
I will admit that firsthand. But we have 69 nice people watching live right now. Nice. So, guys, if you don't mind sharing this on whatever platform you're watching, this is going to be the real AEW Revolution pre-show. Don't go watch 0 Hour. Those matches don't mean anything. We're going to bring the boom here for episode 20. Podcast Dad, you're not a big Justice AJ fan?
No. And I will say, when you said we have 69, I literally thought you meant matches to break down on this card. So I was very worried. I was like, I have it right here. Is there more matches that I'm not seeing?
Podcast Dad coming with the smoke. He always comes with the smoke, Tino.
Always.
He's always ready.
Also,
you're on fire.
I was about to say, you're growing out the beard, too. So this might be the new side of... I haven't seen you with the beard yet.
Yeah, I'm turning heel.
Oh, okay. Well, turning? I
was a tweener before.
Yeah.
We're going full-fledged John Cena heel. I want your souls.
Don't kick me in the nuts. Kick your son. You guys
please.
are actually... That's more heat there. All right, guys. We're about 8 minutes in. I say we just jump right into the main card for AEW Revolution. We're not going to talk about 0 Hour because there is almost 69 matches on this card. So let's start off with this one, which I am really excited for. It is a World Championship #1 contenders match between Swerve Strickland and Ricochet. And as of late, Ian, we have seen a different side to Ricochet in AEW, a side that I personally have enjoyed. So how have you felt about the build going into this matchup, and who do you see walking away with the victory?
At first in this feud, it kind of felt weird because at that point Ricochet really hadn't gotten his feet from under him with his character. But I mean, ever since he's gotten his feet under him and has kind of got a lock on what his character is, every promo has been entertaining at the least. Not a super heated rivalry, I would say. I mean, they're trying to push it that way, but it doesn't feel like it.
Oh, I think it does. They're using scissors to stab people.
They're stabbing each other in the face with scissors.
Yeah, that's intense.
Which is actually kind of funny because that's like my only thing that's kind of meh. I especially at the contract signing when Swerve pulled out the scissors, was like, nah, okay. But again, I could be in the minority there, but it just pulled me away from it a little bit. But anyway, feud's been awesome, and I genuinely don't. This is one of those matches I have no idea where they could go. I want to go and sway on the side that go with the face going over and Swerve just winning. But again, Ricochet he's kind of been on fire as a heel. So, and I don't think whoever comes #1 contender is going to beat whoever has the title at the end of this match. So I'm just going to let's go with the Ricochet.
Ooh, I didn't see that one coming. Podcast Dad, do you agree, disagree? How you feeling about this feud?
First off, at the contract signing, Ricochet had a beautiful hat on. I don't know if you guys remember the hat. It was beautiful. And shout out to him. You knew it was going to come up. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, us bald people like to wear our caps.
That's fine. If you need a beautiful hat, I'll get you one. This feud has been great. Ricochet has really come into his own since joining AEW. I'm thoroughly surprised. I thought Ricochet would come over there, he'd be slotted in the mid card, and he'd be fine. Right? We'd get some fun Ricochet matches, and yeah, he's on TV every week. I didn't think we'd get this character. He's kind of a main event star at this point, which is something I thought I would never say about Ricochet in AEW, but here we are. Do I think he's going to win this match? I do not. I think Swerve is going to win this match because Swerve has lost a lot of big matches coming into this, and I think he needs a big win. I don't think Ricochet going after the title is going to be a thing because of who I think is going to win the main event. But this has been a good feud. I like Swerve in this feud. It's probably going to be a really, really good match. Probably one up there for match of the night for sure. But it's gonna be a fun little match. And I'm glad these guys have gotten stuff to do. Right, they're both kind of just floating for a minute, and now all right, get some feuds going. So, and it's actually being a story told, which is nice.
Yeah, I've been fully invested from the very beginning of this feud. It's hard. I don't want to reiterate what you guys kind of were saying, but I totally agree with. You just Ricochet in AEW. It's working. He is a guy. He is a major player in that company, and that's not something we could have said when he was in WWE. You know, sometimes the grass is greener on the other side, and it has been for Ricochet here. But knowing the history between these two, I believe they have had 2 matches before, if I'm not mistaken, and I believe Ricochet is the one that has gone over both of those times. And Swerve's kind of in that same boat as Adam Hangman Page, to where they both came off that really hot feud, and they both needed that next feud to just keep that momentum going. That's what this feud has been for Swerve, and now Hangman can dive his teeth into MJF. So it's working out great for those two. I think eventually Swerve and Hangman are going to get back to that world title feud, because I still think there's unfinished business there, obviously. But going off of what you guys were saying, knowing the main event and who I think is going to win, it makes more sense for Swerve to go over, in my opinion, in this match. So I think I'm going to go with Swerve Strickland to win. Regardless, guys, I think it's going to be a really good match.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is one of those matches that I thought was a 50-50. I genuinely could see them going either way. It's just who could come out of a loss here and build themselves back up. I don't know if a Ricochet could really, which is kind of the reason I picked Ricochet to win, is I don't see him talking his way back into a good feud necessarily without sticking to the same shtick a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it could work. It really could, but I just don't know who that would be with.
Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he's still on the TV? Yeah.
He's a champion.
Yeah, he's on Collision, and that's it. They
gotta stop thinking one of the dark or the what is it called? 0 hour matches.
They just got to stop thinking Collision is television that both. Not everyone could have a Saturday night or a Friday night or Thursday night sometime. Like anyway.
Some of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like I said, you probably got weekends in Bluey and then AEW Collision.
No, I still don't watch AEW Collision. Sorry.
I don't think any of us do, which is
I really don't.
Again, we're not bashing. It's just time. You know,
I only watched SmackDown up to Cody, so yeah.
I didn't even watch SmackDown.
Yeah, Ian wasn't feeling it this week.
That's okay. It's fine. I look. I said it on TikTok a couple days ago. WWE fumbled both of these guys, and now AEW is reaping the rewards. Like we talk about, Ricky Saints over in WWE right now. We talk about Ethan Page over in WWE and how they were fumbled. That's kind of the cool thing about having 2 major companies right now is we get to see Ricochet and Swerve in a big time match on pay-per-view, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if this started off the show. I think they just need to start off with a really good in-ring wrestling match, and I think a non-title match for number 1 contendership would be the perfect candidate. But there is a good amount, like this matchup right here could kick off the show, and I wouldn't be mad at that. Continental titles on the line as Kazuchika Okada faces off against Brody King. Podcast Dad, I'm going to let you start this off. We know that Okada's run with the title hasn't been the best so far, to put it lightly. No.
And what a great way to kill the Hellhounds, right? Like let's just break them up into singles matches and have them both lose. Brody King deserves to have really good matches and singles matches. He gets to show off like how good he really is. I wish they would use him a little bit more in singles competition. I think he showed out in the Continental Classic. But I think Okada's going to win this because of the rumors going around that they might be merging the Continental and the whatever the hell the other title, the International title.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
And that's, we're probably going to set up at All In, Okada and Omega again. So give me Okada. I think Okada's just kind of floating until we can get to that point.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's the point I was going to bring up. It was no spoiler, Ian. Now you found out. But that is the rumor that they're going to combine those two mid-card titles and unify them. And then it makes a lot of sense for it to be Okada versus Kenny Omega, which might be a spoiler for that matchup that we talk about later. But hey, this is still going to be a really good matchup because, like Podcast Dad said, Brody King's doing great things. It's unfortunate that these guys get heated up, get put into positions for titles, and then they just lose, and then they're kind of floating around for a little bit, similar to like what Powerhouse Hobbs has been doing ever since he got a title opportunity. But regardless, I am looking forward to this match, and I'm looking forward to the card as a whole because this is something we talk about with AEW, man. It's like, even if you're not fully invested into the weekly television, the pay-per-views are going to be great. I can't name a bad AEW. Okay, maybe one.
Yes, you can.
Exploding barbed
wire.
Yeah.
World's End 2 years ago was not good. That was the MJ. That was the Adam Cole reveal as the devil.
Oh yeah,
that show was probably their worst show ever.
It was pretty bad.
But they had like a 95% success rate.
Yes, no argument at all here. Like, this is going to be a good show. Like, again, I don't watch all of the weekly television, but they don't miss on pay-per-views. If you like wrestling, this is going to be a good show. If you like storytelling, it might not be the best show. It is what it is, but if you like really good wrestling, tune into this one.
It's hard to find another company that has better in-ring wrestling and better wrestlers than Kazuchika Okada, who's going to retain his Continental Championship against Brody King. Ian, any thoughts on this match?
No, I mean, I kind of understand why Brody King was slotted in here. It, from a storyline aspect, doesn't make sense, but just like it's almost kind of a reward for what Brody King has been doing. Put him on arguably AEW's biggest pay-per-view, and kind of just show why he is this good. I don't think a loss hurts him here. I got Okada retaining, but I don't think a loss hurts him here. Him and Buddy they're on fire right now. Hopefully Buddy's okay. I don't know if he got actually hurt at Grand Slam. I don't know if he's even wrestled since then.
Yeah, he tweaked his ankle.
Yeah, tweaked his ankle, so it shouldn't be that bad. I mean, he wrestled a whole match after he got hurt, so I think it'll be all right. But yeah, hopefully they are able to heat them up into a tag team title match on whoever wins the tag team titles.
Is Julia Hart still affiliated with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, guys, haven't been watching as much recently, but still excited nonetheless for this card. We got another matchup here for the tag team titles as the Hurt Syndicate take on the fun-ass Outrunners who, I mean, those vignettes that they are running on AEW television are just perfection. 80s perfection right there. Obviously, that's before all of our times on this stream, but the nostalgia is real with the Outrunners. It's just very unfortunate, Ian, that they're running into the buzzsaw of the Hurt Syndicate, who just recently won those titles. So how do you see this one shaking out?
Well, it's sad, and I don't think they're going to lose any steam with the loss.
No.
But the Hurt Syndicate are going to retain. Sorry for the spoiler. I think a lot of people are calling for like an Acclaimed upset. How in Chicago at All In at All Out, they had a lot of steam behind them. We were at that show actually, in the Acclaim upset, and it was awesome, and it worked out for a little while. I don't think that's going to happen here. The Hurt Syndicate are just that damn good right now. It doesn't make sense for them to lose. But I do have a prediction.
Let's hear it.
I think hurt people? Well, they're going to hurt people. But at the end of the match, I think we're going to find out who, or maybe get hints at who their next competitors are going to be. And I think it's going to be the Young Bucks.
Okay.
Cool. No sell. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
I'm not a Young Bucks guy, so I mean, I'm not going to react to that.
Back me up, chat. Back me up, chat.
I'm sure. No, there you go.
No, fuck off. No, hey.
Right, there you go, Ian.
Damn it, Brandon.
There you go.
Brandon, I'm curious what the betting odds are, but Podcast Dad, how you feeling about this tag?
Mike's got my back.
The Outrunners getting this shot, probably 3 months too late, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
They probably should have beaten Private Party and had a little run for these titles because there is no way they're winning these titles tonight. Like, okay, like they're getting rewarded, and that's cool and that's awesome. They're not winning at all. Like, what? They're not winning.
Well, another thing too,
Imagine they
Chris,
do.
is like, don't you?
They won't.
I would assume that the Hurt Syndicate are gonna get treated like baby faces too in this match. Like everybody loves
Probably.
the Hurt Syndicate.
Ooh.
I bet you that. I bet you it'll be a cheering on both.
50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Outrunners are not going to get booed, but
No, I'm not saying that.
no, Lashley and Shelton are on fire right now, and why do this now? Like, why take the titles off them now? There's no reason.
No.
Like, if you're going to do it for just like a hot angle, which you don't really need right now, like the tag division's fine.
Yeah.
Like, the Outrunners are a lot of fun, and they got themselves over. Probably should have happened 3 months ago, but I'll take it now, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, no doubt. But the Hurt Syndicate are definitely going to retain. I don't need to harp on it anymore because we got plenty other matches to talk about, like this TBS Championship matchup between Mercedes Moné and Momo Watanabe, I think is how you pronounce her name. I don't know much about Momo. Podcast Dad, can you tell me anything about her?
She's pretty good. I
Is
will
she?
say that. She's very, very good. If you've never seen her wrestle, she's very good. And this is kind of a feud that Mercedes has had. Her and Momo have had a feud over in Japan for a little while.
Okay.
I don't care about this match.
You're telling me they've already had their Momo before?
Oh my god. You can leave.
Be
this
here
room.
for another 40 minutes.
You can get out.
You can get out now.
So you're going with Momo then, right?
No, I'm going with Mercedes. Come on. Like, this Mercedes Moné run, can we call it what we want to call it?
It's decent.
It has not been good.
I think it's okay.
Come on.
It's,
When they
It
signed
started off
Mercedes,
rough.
when they signed Mercedes Moné, we all thought this was going to be a huge deal.
sure.
I did not. I was on the record
What
saying
has
I
she
did
been
not.
doing?
Winning every match.
Yeah, she's pretty much having a Jade run with the TBS
Yes.
Championship.
Yeah.
What matches stood out to you minus the Chris Statlander matches?
Damn it! You can't.
Minus that
You
match.
can't throw that in.
Minus
there.
that match. Name another
Uh,
good Mercedes match that you've liked.
There
so
is
far.
others out there. I just
Willow.
don't remember matches.
Willow.
There you go. Okay,
Whatever
that one.
match show that was.
Yeah, whatever show that was. Exactly.
We watch so much wrestling; it's hard to remember those kind of things.
But
No, it's not. I remember the good matches. This one,
I-
this
Fair.
run just hasn't been great. Like she has like 4 belts now. Cool. Like that's awesome. But
She's
like
the-
she has not had a good feud at all
I
in this company.
will back it up a little bit. I'll argue here. I think the big thing though about this title run in all the competitors has been Chris Statlander has been amplified, Willow has been amplified, and who would have thought Harley Cameron could be even in the contention for a title? That would be my argument. Yes, I agree with you.
And
It
what are
is a
those two
mid card
tonight?
title. They're not on the card, but I agree. I think this match is dumb. Save this for Forbidden Door. I hate.
or Dynamite.
Yeah. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't like the. I mean, that sounds really fucked up to say. It's just that New Japan AEW thing does not click, especially on a Forbidden Door esque pay per view, because that's not what we're signing up for. You have so many matches on here that are telling really good stories. I think this story wise, this is one of the best cards AEW's ever produced, just on a story basis. As for the wrestling, we'll see, but. Yeah, it's that whole New Japan thing, New Japan Takeover, which I think they're building to that. Like with Gabe Kidd, he's cutting promos on AEW right now. Awesome, that's fantastic. But save it for Forbidden Door, where we know we're gonna get that crossover. I agree with you.
No, I get what you're saying, Ian, and I agree. But this is also coming from people, and I can't speak for the podcast Dad. I don't know how much he watches, but Ian and I don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
We don't watch Stardom. It's just, once again, so much time in a week. We stick to the American professional wrestling. And I agree with Ian. I think that focus should be towards Forbidden Door season. Utilize the roster you have. Because those names that you just mentioned aren't even sniffing the card.
Yeah.
I could throw a Julia Hart in that conversation as well. A Thunder Rosa, a Megan Bain, an Anna Jay. There's plenty of other people. And yes, we've seen a lot of those matches with Mercedes already. But I would have maybe liked somebody else here. Am I saying the match is going to be shit? No, because I don't know anything about
It won't.
Momo. It probably
It'll be
won't
good.
be. Yeah, but I'm going with Mercedes to retain here, Ian. I don't even think we would need to ask who we're picking.
Yeah, I mean, again, just the fact that it's Momo is the competition here. It's like they're not going to send an AEW title overseas. I don't think Momo's going to stay here for a while and wrestle more. She could, I mean, her English is not good, it's going to be really hard for her to hold that title here. So her winning that title and defending it on AEW is pretty much it's out of the question. If you would have made this a fatal 4-way, like with names that you had said, Gags, like it's maybe it could be a title change, but
Fatal 4-way would have been fun.
I did notice that this entire card. That's my only gripe with it. 1v1s, all of it is 1v1s, and then you have a tag team title match. That's
There's
it.
some stipulations though. Like
You got stipulations.
Falls count anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they could have spiced it up with like a triple threat or two, but that's just me.
Can you guys name the 5 TBS champions that they've had?
The women's TBS champions: Mercedes, Jade, Chris Statlander. Fuck. 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more. Yeah.
Willow.
4.
4.
yeah.
Oh shit! Come on, Kyle. Pull it out your ass. I can't do it. I'm sorry. What is it?
I'm trying to think. It'll hit me at some point.
It's Julia.
Just tell it. Julia
Oh,
Hart.
fuck. Oh, yeah, that was a bad one.
Yeah.
That was a
and I
bad
just said her name. I
know. That's why I asked. I was like, oh, he's just said that one. Let me ask.
Hey, look at Paperclip
Mike Monroe.
Mike. Look at that's Paperclip Mike, by the way.
Oh shit!
That's
I
just
didn't know
his
that.
full name.
Didn't know his last name.
Come on, don't give away. Gimmick his name, brother. Come on.
Paperclip Mike.
We're all going with Mercedes to retain in that match.
Yes.
This one, very much looking forward to. If you couldn't tell by the T-shirt that I got from Temu that I'm wearing.
I'm wearing my Swerve shirt now. I'm changing out of this into my Swerve shirt.
Okay, Mark.
Just because of you.
MJF versus Hangman Page. I'm so glad it's not MJF versus Jeff Jarrett here at AEW Revolution. The pivot is real. And thank you, Tony Khan, for going to this one, because the story that MJF and Hangman Page have been telling is basically just who's going to set who on fire podcast, Dad. So that is my question to you. Is anyone going to catch on fire in this match?
No, because we got to build to the Inferno match. Come on.
True.
Come on, you don't want to give it away now.
Yeah.
No, I've really this is good. This is good. I like this feud. It's good storytelling. These two haven't really crossed paths that often in AEW, if ever. So this is a fun feud. It's a logical feud. Both of them want to get back to the main championship. Both of them got out of the Jeff Jarrett vortex and the Christopher Daniels vortex or whatever the hell they were in. And good. You have 2 main event guys feuding because they hate each other because they want to be the best. What simple storytelling?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are they going to set each other on fire? I don't know. Maybe that's added. That's an added bonus. But I'm excited for this match. This was the one toss up on the card that I don't know who's going to win. I could see MJF winning. I could also see Hangman winning. So I don't point blank right now.
Gun to your head.
Give me MJF. I think
Pull out
give
the
me
Glock.
MJF to win this first match, Hangman to win the second, and then get some crazy stipulation in the third.
See, I like where your head's at, podcast, that, because I'm thinking this is going to line up into a potential trilogy just because there really isn't anything else for these two at the moment, and we already have a number 1 contendership match set up between Swerve and Ricochet, so we know who's going to be next in line for Cope, for Jon Moxley, or for Christian Cage. We'll save that tease for later, but going back to this match, MJF, Hangman Page, these are, I mean, if you want to talk pillars, I think these two are 2 of the 4 pillars, the real pillars of AEW.
We're going to talk about the pillars again?
Yeah. It's not Jack Perry. It's not Darby Allin, because Darby, instead of going for the title, which should be the guy in line right now to take the title, is Darby Allin, in my opinion, he's going to climb Mount Everest.
It's probably for the better.
The timing, I don't like. That's just me. But going back to this match, both men need it. They need a win here. And this is essentially a blood feud. I, for some reason, think MJF's going to win as well. It's just because I think it always makes sense for the heel to go over to start a long-term feud. But also, I feel like MJF, similar to Jericho, whenever they're on the pay-per-view, they just win. MJF wins a lot of big matches. It's true. And Hangman's one of those characters in AEW that doesn't get hurt much by losing. So I think MJF somehow, some way, Ian is going to pull out the victory here in this one.
Yeah, said all the right things, and I'm going to be in agreement with both of you guys. I think MJF wins here. My main reasoning is Hangman's story right now is been all over the place. Is he a heel? Is he a face? And I think there is more story to tell with that. You can have segments with him in the backstage just by himself, and it's going to be entertaining, which could eventually build up to another match at MJF. Is this going to be a long term? We don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about that necessarily, mainly because we saw Hangman and Swerve go on their trio match, so I don't want that to become a thing for Hangman. Just his acting in general and the story that's been created just out of MJF is telling him, you guys are hypocrites. This guy literally burned a house on fire, and
it's kind of like Kevin Owens. Sorry to cut you off, but similar to that story.
Yeah, there's some realism kind of displayed in that, and it's playing with human emotions always gets to. I mean, it should get to all of us as wrestling fans. So I think if Hangman loses here, he's actually probably going to get some benefit out of it. Because, if he just wins, what's the point? MJF, he needs a win. Yeah, exactly. So, MJF win.
Yeah, and that's that character that Hangman's on, right? I won, next. Let's have him lose so there's a reason to come back to this match. Logically, that makes the most sense. But this company doesn't book with logic sometimes, so we'll see.
Similar to CM Punk, Hangman Page is best suited when he's pissed off. So off Hangman sometimes. Page here. And hey, he lit somebody's house on fire.
Well, he did call Hangman an idiot too. So an empty-headed. What did he call him? Empty-headed.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Let's not piss Punk off right now.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's our Forbidden Door fantasy booking: Hangman Page versus CM Punk.
No thanks. I don't want to see that shoot fight.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be pretty, and we know what happens when CM Punk really fights. Sorry about that. That was a shot. I am a CM Punk fan, guys. Don't worry. Podcast Dad, what's that magic number? We currently sit at 57 subscribers here on the Main Event Wrestling Network YouTube channel. How many people should they tell if they're watching live right now?
All 57 should tell one person right now. Let's get to 100 right this second. Everybody who's watching right now, text somebody right now.
116 people.
Stop what you're doing. We're going to stop here. We're going to pause.
Yeah, we're not stopping.
Text somebody right now. So we'll wait.
We're not speaking again until it happens.
I'm going to text somebody.
Subscribe to the Main Event Wrestling Network. Everybody's doing it.
The first messages is a group chat, so there's 2 people. So look, I'm doing even better. But no, if you like what we're doing here, please tell people. We want to keep growing. We want to keep having fun, and we can't do it without you. So come on.
That's right. And there's a lot of you watching right now. We appreciate every single one of you tuning in right before Revolution. But guys, we have 4 huge matches still to talk about here for AEW Revolution. So let's get into this steel cage match between Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay. Just a great feud between these two guys with a lot of history. And man, Kyle Fletcher has really elevated his stock in AEW over the past couple years. This is a main event player, and he's being positioned in a main event match. If it wasn't Revolution, this match probably main events. But there's so many good matches on this card, I don't think it will. But regardless, this makes more sense in my opinion, for Will Ospreay to get revenge. It is a steel cage match, so technically people can't get in, but we know how that goes. The lackeys are probably still going to show up and try to interfere here from the Don Callis family, but also Takeshita's already occupied tonight. He's got a match with Kenny Omega, so maybe they won't show up in this match, but for some reason, something's telling me that Will Ospreay really needs this win. We squash this beef here for now, and then maybe something happens. What's the other member of Aussie Open that I'm forgetting? The big Mark guy? Davis. Yeah, maybe he gets involved in this match somewhat, but I think he might side with Will Ospreay because we saw him hesitate to use that steel chair on Dynamite. So maybe that's why Will gets the win here, but that's my pick. Ian, what about you?
Well, I wish I could add something, but I really can't because you hit every single one of my points. I think Mark Davis does turn back to being a face. That segment was awesome. I mean, it was really small, really subtle, but yeah, Mark Davis never looked comfortable in that whole family situation and that whole group. So My worry is the crowd's actually not behind him turning face quite yet. So maybe they simmer it off even more, and the feud keeps going, which no one's going to complain. It's Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay, and you could, even add Takeshita into that. Yeah, it's what they're doing right now with the Don Callis family is incredible. They've just been adding really, really good wrestlers into this family and into the feuds and putting on extraordinary matches, and everything's starting to make sense. I love it, but this is one of those matches that feels like 50-50, but I'm going to go Will Ospreay here as well, banking on a Mark Davis face turn.
Okay, podcast dad, are you going to be in agreement with us here?
No, you're both wrong. Kyle Fletcher's winning this match.
Both.
How do you make a star? You let him win a feud with Will Ospreay.
He's already had the win, though. That's the thing.
Okay, so you win the feud. How's this going to hurt Will Ospreay? In what way does this hurt Will Ospreay? We already know he's the best wrestler in the world.
I don't think it hurts him.
Not at all.
But where does he
It's going to
go
hurt Kyle
from
Fletcher.
here is the question.
It doesn't matter. He's the best wrestler in the world. He can feud with anybody. He can literally feud with anybody and have a great match. Kyle Fletcher needs this win because you need to continue to establish him as a main event. Well, Ospreay's going to be in the main event no matter what. No matter what.
Do you see Kyle Fletcher as a future world champion?
Yes. Dude's a stud.
Yeah.
Dude is a stud. Will Ospreay, go wrestle Ricochet.
I'm making an early prediction saying when the Forbidden Door comes around, it's going to be him versus Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, they could do that as well. Look, Will Ospreay can feud with literally anybody else, and he'll be fine.
Up too?
Yeah, it's coming up soon.
Forbidden Door?
Yep. I think that might be their next pay-per-view.
Do you think so?
I can check. Actually, Dynasty is their next pay-per-view.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because I bought the 2-pack. It's available on Triller right now, and it saved you a couple bucks.
Then Double or Nothing. Then All In.
Oh my God, there's so much.
Then Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door is in August.
So we got time.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot more happening in between then. So All In's obviously the show that they're really building.
Give me Kyle Fletcher. I think you want build a star. Build a star, AEW. You got one. Build one. Add somebody else to that main event scene. It's not going to hurt. Will Ospreay's going to be in it no matter what. Kyle Fletcher wins.
It's a good point. I'm still going to stick with Will, but I get where you're coming from for sure. And I think that match could be match of the night, but I also could see this match being match of the night here at Revolution because this is a matchup that we have talked about before. They've had match of the year candidates in the past. It's Konosuke Takeshita taking on Kenny Omega for that international championship. Ian, I believe you get to go first on this one. Very excited for it, and I could see this one, just like a lot of the other matches, going either way.
Yeah, well, ever since you told me that they will be combining the titles, yes, I would have said the same exact thing. But, I mean, if you have the chance for Omega versus Okada for any title, you're going to take it. Would I be upset if it's Takeshita with the title against Okada? Absolutely not. Again, when you say, Podcast Dad, about making a star, again, this is one of those ways to make a star. But what the Don Callis family kind of threw out there is we're not just going to win the match, we are going to end Kenny Omega's career. That stuff usually doesn't pan out, as the heels would suggest. But which kind of makes me think it's going to go on the faces side. So we're going to go with Kenny Omega as the new champ. I want to get creative there, but you got to have Kenny Omega winning.
Podcast Dad.
I think they've already created the star in Takeshita.
Agree.
He's pinned Omega twice.
Yeah,
he's already done it.
Hasn't done it 3 times though.
Kenny Omega needs to win. He needs a title. I think tell this story with Kenny Omega. I don't know why Kenny Omega is not in the main event scene right now. Doesn't make a ton of sense when you have somebody trying to destroy AEW and
you got to slowly build him back up though.
No, you don't. It's Kenny Omega.
True, he should be like
it's literally Kenny Omega. Yeah. When you bring back Roman Reigns, are you building him up slowly?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes. He's a jobber.
Yeah, let's start him down with R-Truth. Let's figure that out. No, that part just really doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But if this is going to be what we're going to do, yes, give me Kenny Omega to win. They can have a series of matches over the next, couple pay-per-views or whatever it may be to get to All In, to have the Omega Okada match. I mean, that's the one match we wanted to see when Okada signed, right? We want to see that match. They have the opportunity to do it. Do it on your biggest stage possible. Let's get the ball rolling. Give the title to Kenny Omega.
Yeah, that's the direction they're definitely headed in. And I don't know if that matchup is going to hit the same as it may have in
It
the
won't.
past because these two are a little bit older, but that's okay because we really haven't gotten it on American soil. So if we can get there, that the only way we do is if he wins the international championship here over Konosuke Takeshita, who had a decent reign with the title, but once again, I like the rumors of the mid card titles kind of being unified. I think they do need less belts in AEW. And why not give it to Kenny Omega? That's the guy that should be holding all the gold. I have no issues with Kenny being in title matches. I know a lot of people get tired of the same people being at the top, but AEW needs Kenny Omega in a prominent role. So put the international title on him here. Takeshita's going to be fine. He can find his way around somewhere else with the Don Callis family. And we have that Kenny Omega versus Okada matchup in whatever they decide to do it. But yeah, I'm going with Kenny Omega to become the new international champion here. Ian? Or did you already go?
I already went.
Okay. Have anything else from this match you guys wanted to touch on?
No.
Not this one.
All right, we got two more to talk about for the AEW World Championships. But guys, don't forget to show some love to our friends over at Gorilla Press Apparel, gorillapressapparel.bigcartel.com. Use promo code MEM24 and you will save some money off of your order. Also, guys, if you're looking to get some brand new main event wrestling merch, head on over to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.com. Use promo code Revolution and you will save 10% off of your order. Podcast Dad, we have 127 people watching right now. What should they be doing?
They know what they should be doing. Get on your phone, go to the last person you messaged, the first thing at the very top, and say, hey, go check these guys out, subscribe. That's all you got to do. Can you do that, please? Please? I'm asking nicely. I don't ask nicely often. Please.
And we got a lot of different faces here at the Main Event Wrestling Network. That's what's good. You're not going to get the same people every single stream. Obviously, you might see me more than a lot of people because I'm the founder, whatever you want to call me. But we try to get an influx of talent filtering into these episodes. So be on the lookout for more Main Event Mixers. At mainevent_net is where you're going to be able to follow us on all social media accounts. But boys, let's get to the big two. This one, False Count Anywhere. Timeless Tony Storm, the champion, taking on Mariah May and what will be probably... Well, no, did he insert a message? I'll have to look in a little bit.
You told me to.
Yeah, that's true. You did listen. Timeless Tony Storm taking on Mariah May, the finale of this feud. Podcast Dad, this has been a doozy.
It's been very good. It's probably been up there as probably, top 3 best feuds AEW's ever had. Men, women, doesn't matter. This is a top 3 feud they've ever had. They've done it outside of like AEW territories, right? Like where Mariah May attacked her on the red carpet the other night. Like everything about it's been very, very, very good. I'm a little disappointed that it might end tonight because I thought they would maybe extend it a little bit longer, kind of see that downward spiral of Mariah May a little bit more. But I don't think I can complain too much about anything with this feud. It's been just amazing for both, and both are going to come out of it even better. The Falls Count Anywhere aspect of it, it's fine. I maybe would have wanted like an I Quit or Last Woman Standing. Yeah, or something like that. But I'm happy with the stipulation no matter what. It's going to be a good match. I think this is what's going to steal the show, by the way. I think these two have a ton of chemistry. I think that the feud's there. The story's there. Tony Storm's going to win. And hopefully that means in the future, Mercedes Moné can, get up to that main event level because maybe they were just waiting for this feud to end and we get on to, a story with Mercedes. But I'm going to enjoy this one a lot, probably tomorrow, but I will enjoy this one a lot. And give me Tony Storm.
Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné should be the all-in match, and it might be title for title. Ian, I don't want to steal your shine if you got some good points about this one, so I'll let you go before me.
I appreciate it, but yeah, it's like you said. This has been one of their best feuds that AEW's ever produced. I went just before the podcast. I was a little bit late because I went back and watched the entire. It was the road to I forgot what they call it. Like the road to AEW Revolution, something like that. But all the vignettes, everything thrown together in one cinematic story. And man, I forgot how good the build-up was. I mean, I know, but the events that happened during it throughout this entire feud is incredible. And as I said, it's literally cinematic. They're doing a movie right in front of our eyes, and I'm invested because I know for a fact they are going to end it very well. And that could come back to bite me in the ass. I just realized that. But yeah, no, I kind of hope this is the end of the feud just because the build up to this match has been so, as Tony Storm would say, grand. And it feels like the right time to end it. And I think it's going to be Tony Storm retaining. And I like the idea of Mariah May having that character of just a wild psychopath. Blood will be spilled anywhere she walks. She has somewhere to go with a loss. Tony Storm,
WWE?
I don't. You fucking tribalist piece of shit.
Oh.
I'm just saying. Eventually, Mariah May is going to be in WWE. I'm telling you right now.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Not soon, but...
Maybe.
In 20 years.
Yeah,
Maybe.
no, not 20 years.
She's in a pretty good spot right now. I mean, I wouldn't leave yet.
I don't know how much money she's making, but money does talk. Look at Myles Garrett.
AEW has enough money. Trust me.
Ian, don't you find that hilarious? Myles Garrett was like, I want to go play for a contender. I'm signing with the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, they might be a contender.
The closest contenders they had were us when we attended SummerSlam at Cleveland Browns Stadium last year. That's the most winning that stadium's ever seen. The main event crew taking over. But regardless, this matchup is going to be incredible. I'm glad that it is ending because I feel like if they did try to stretch this even longer, that it would have gotten stale. I think this is the perfect time. And that sit-down interview that they had with Renee Paquette was chef's kiss. Tony Storm can do no wrong. Neither can Mariah May. Can't wait for this one. But like the boys said, Timeless Tony Storm is going to retain here. And we're going to enjoy the hell out of it. But we got one more matchup to talk about. Assuming this will be the main event. And according to Brandon earlier in the comments section, this is the closest odds on the card for Revolution. It is the AEW World Heavyweight Championship match between the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, and a man formerly known as Edge, formerly known as Adam Copeland. He's just Cope now. And he's got a title match here at Revolution. Boys, I don't know who wants to go first with this one because there's obviously a lot to take in, knowing the Death Riders story or lack thereof. It hasn't been as exciting for some people, but Ian, let's go to you first for this main event. How do you see things shaking out?
Again, could be in the minority here, but I've really enjoyed the build up to this. This feels like one of the biggest matches during Jon Moxley's tenure as the fourth time as champion or third time as champion? Third. And I kind of like what they're doing with it, and it's kind of clicked with me what they were trying to do with Jon Moxley from the beginning. Again, I wish it would have been AEW versus Jon Moxley with a lot of different guys going after him, but whatever, that's fine. I think it's time for a new champion. I mean, it doesn't make sense to take out every single member of the Death Riders and not capitalize on it. The only way I could see this not going, with the title going into Adam Copeland's hands, his hands, is Jay White. That's the biggest wild card. Jay White is notorious for not bad heel turns, but just insane heel turns out of nowhere. This one's not so much out of nowhere, but they teased it pretty hard. Mm-hmm. It was pretty glaring.
Telegraphing it. But that's
it's weird because Jay White has not been with the Bang Bang Gang at all. And the Gun Club has been back. And we have not seen Juice Robinson. There is so much that they could do with that group, who is already over. I think if they returned tomorrow or Wednesday or whatever, and they came out to Bang Bang Gang, they're over. They're going to have the crowd with them. So he's in a really good prominent spot to take over that title right away. I mean, if he's used as a transitional champion, then I'm okay. I'm okay with it. And again, you have Christian Cage in the background.
Yeah.
I think they hit Christian Cage and Adam Copeland.
They're gonna tease it.
Yeah.
Why is that so fun to say?
I don't know.
Hey, you guys hated on the name, but how many times have we said it?
Just like that too. It's funny you mentioned the Bang Bang Gang. Me and the podcast that were talking before you joined the stream on what the last purchase of the AEW shop was. I think the Bang Bang Gang T-shirt was my last purchase, and that might have been 2 years ago. Because we were talking about how this shirt's from Temu. This was $9.
Yeah.
$9.
It's a cool shirt.
Looks
Hangman
great.
Page. He's my favorite guy in AEW.
You know what shirt I'm going to buy next? Cope.
They should just have one.
We can make that merch. Just Cope.
The period at the end.
So wait, what was your
Go see
pick
his
again? Was
merch.
it Cope?
Cope.
Does he have merch?
That's a great question. I guess we're gonna have to find out.
Yeah, he does.
You look it up, and I'll get into this matchup. Originally, and I know the podcast dad is gonna hate this, I thought Cope was going to win, and that Christian Cage would end up cashing in on Cope, and then they would run with that feud with Christian versus Cope going forward. I can't keep stop. I can't do
Who am I looking up?
I don't. No, yeah.
There he is. Cope.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen. No, I'm kidding.
He does have a shirt that says Cope on it. I'm gonna have to get this.
Damn it. Cope's not gonna win.
Oh,
Long
there's a
story.
rated R Cope era. Oh, well,
All right, I'm done.
Hell, I gotta get through this point. Okay?
I'll let you talk.
Damn it, paperclip Mike! Don't comment that word.
Cope. Yeah, if you guys commented, I'll say it.
there's a towel with Cope on it. I'm gonna get that.
Ian, you did kind of steal my thunder a little bit earlier, but a lot of people are saying it. No, a lot of people are saying it, so it's not that big of a deal. I think Jay White turns heel in this matchup, and he's the reason that Jon Moxley retains against Cope.
Oh.
Podcast Dad, your turn. Finish this out
here. Yeah. I don't care about this match.
Really?
Not at all.
God damn it! Stop it.
Well, I'm doing my job, and you keep...
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. It's
Why?
I haven't been into this feud at all. Moxley winning the title was awesome when he won it from Danielson and retired Danielson, and that was great. And that was all right. We're gonna go after the AEW and attack it from within and all that good stuff. Why? Have we found out why?
Question.
I agree. Yeah.
Why are they hiding the title?
They had so much more story to tell.
And why is it taking the ex-WWE star to come save AEW? It doesn't make any sense.
Fair point. Well, this is Cope. Cope was
why
never
is Cope,
WWE.
why is Cope so pissed at Jon Moxley that he's trying to kill AEW? I don't understand.
You don't remember when Cope made his debut back in 2023? The young superstar that was?
Nope. And I don't know. The Moxley run hasn't been great, and it sucks because I really like Jon Moxley and I really like Cope, but I don't need to see Cope as world champion. That's kind of where I'm at.
That's a good point.
I don't need to see it at this point. Have him have his legend run, and I'm good with it. Sting never needed the title. He never needed it. Cope doesn't need it. He doesn't need this title.
All elderly wrestling. We don't need that.
No, you got Christian Cage and Cope right now as your two biggest main event stars. It's not good when you have a Jay White, when you have a Jon Moxley, when you have Kenny Omega, a Ricochet, a Hangman, an MJF, a Swerve. You have so many. Why is Cope in the main event? Doesn't really make much sense. Just put Cope and Christian together. Let's get this final run. Let's get the tag team out of the way. Let's just have a nostalgia run. Nobody would be mad at that. I just don't need him in the main event right now. That's just all I'm asking. If this was Jon Moxley versus Jay White, I'd be 10 times more excited. 10 times more excited. And we may get there.
Yeah,
we may get there. Probably not, because Jay White's been booked like shit since he's been in AEW, but here we go. Sure, Jay White turns heel, Moxley wins, goes on to face Swerve. All right.
And Swerve's probably not going to be the guy to defeat Jon Moxley, so then I have to ask that question, who is the guy to beat Jon Moxley if Cope doesn't win tonight?
I don't know.
I
would say Kenny Omega.
Do you think Christian successfully cashes in at some point?
If that happens, I don't hate that. The thing is, it doesn't need to be a big. I understand not wanting to have one of these legends or old heads kind of be the champion. I get that completely. I kind of see it more as a transitional champion. But again, with Christian Cage being the champion, we know what kind of champion he is, keeping the title away. So it is kind of tough in that aspect.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That was really good.
Oh, no, you're good.
You do need to learn how to cope.
I know, that's why I'm smirking at Paperclip Mike in the comment section. We don't do MVMs around here, but he would be the MVP of this chat today. We've had over 100 people throughout this entire stream, so thank you to every last one of you that decided to tune in right before AEW Revolution. Actually, I think 0 hour is happening as we speak, so we might as well get here and wrap things up. But Ian, any final remarks before AEW Revolution kicks off here in about an hour?
Yeah, I mean, as much as Podcast Dad hates him and absolutely despises him, probably won't even watch the show, honestly. Like, AEW's back. I think they're starting to get back. I think they're on a roll recently, and this pay-per-view kind of explains it. All of the matches right now, well, most of them, have Darby. Yeah, that is true, no Darby. They feel fresh. It feels like there is some good stories going into almost every single match. So, yeah. As an AEW tribalist that hates WWE and doesn't ever actually talk about WWE, even though we have a podcast, because Twitter tells me that I'm a WWE tribalist.
It's X.
Sorry, fuck. Well, I'm a Twitter tribalist.
Aren't we all?
I'm still on MySpace.
Am I in your top friends or no?
No.
I didn't make the top 8.
Cope is.
Cope.
I guess I gotta have to cope with that. Podcast Dad, final remarks before AEW Revolution.
Look, the show's gonna be good. We say it every time. If you haven't watched the weekly stuff, that's fine. This pay-per-view is gonna be pretty damn good. It's gonna be up there probably at the end of the year as one of the top shows of the year. You're probably gonna have 3, maybe 4 match of the year candidates come out of this card alone. Like, it's gonna be good wrestling. And if that's all you want, perfect. I grew up with WWE, unfortunately, so I like a little bit more storytelling in my wrestling. But this is the alternative, right? And I want them to not be bad. WWE. No. So I'm looking forward to it. And it's going to be some good wrestling. And I like that.
We want every company to succeed. And that goes all the way down to independent wrestling as well. Because if everybody's doing good, pro wrestling's doing good. And that's really just the whole main event mantra over here at the network. So guys, once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to show some love to our friends over at GorillaPressApparel.BigCartel.com. Use promo code MEM24 and you will save 10% off of your order there. And Podcast Dad, correct me if I'm wrong, but even if you are a professional wrestler, you can get in on this action as well, right?
Anybody can. That's the best part. Anybody that uses that code can get in on the deal.
Go. MEM24 at checkout will save you some money. And if you want to get some Main Event Wrestling Network merchandise or support OTM or the Wrestling Junkies because they have a tapestry available on the OnTheMarkWrestlingPodcast.com, use promo code REVOLUTION to save 10%. Ian, I'm going to ask you, what's the magic number of people to tell about subscribing to the Main Event Wrestling Network?
Well, I know what the answer is, but I'm going to spice it up a little bit and say at least tell one person about the Main Event Wrestling Network. And if you tell more, you get extra credit, so that's pretty good.
How about that? And who knows? You might win free merch. We do that from time to time.
That is true, actually.
We do that from time to time, so if you're following us at mainevent_net, you can get in on all that action, but I think it's about time we wrap things up over here because AEW Revolution goes live in an hour. It was great coping with you guys. Let's go home. Follow us at mainevent_net, and we'll see you next time on the Main Event Mixer.